Is that starting?
All right, man. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Get people excited.
Am I still in the shot?
So, yeah, you're in the shot. You're looking good. You're listening to the Seven Rivers
ready?
Student
Well,
Ministry
yeah.
Rock Paper Scissors.
Yeah.
We believe that all students are lovable through a relationship with Jesus. If you'd like to know more about our ministry, you can visit us at www.sevenrivers.org/students. Oh, you get that one.
Oh!
Let's go. Let's go, man.
Mikey Puckett.
Jason. Hey, so you're listening to the Culture Cast. This is where we engage culture with the gospel shades.
Oh, snap.
Or we look at culture with the gospel shades. We put on
Yes.
our gospel shades and we engage culture with our faith. So
Yeah,
it's a good time.
it is.
We're excited.
I'm pumped.
Before we jump in, just want to introduce you real quick to the one and only Jason Nguyen.
Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you from all the way here.
The crowd.
Oh,
is
yeah.
going crazy.
Yeah. Thanks for clapping in your car or wherever you're listening to. I hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is again.
Yeah, I can.
Oh.
I think what I hear is a fire alarm. If you can hear a fire alarm going off, it's because there's literally a fire drill happening, or we think it's a fire drill. So we're obviously not taking it very seriously. So if all of a sudden you see a fireball come through this set, you might
It
be
will.
like,
It will be one
incredible shot.
incredible episode.
Yeah. So, and I'm Mikey Puckett. I'm the student ministry director here at Seven Rivers, and I'm excited to dive into this show. But before we do, one more thing. I want you to subscribe to the podcast if you're listening.
On YouTube, on Apple,
Oh,
on Spotify, everything.
Lock it down.
Take a second, pause your video, and subscribe.
Yeah, we want to grow the podcast. We want people to, in our community, to jump on this and get with it. So tell your friends about it too. Rate and review it, which would be great as well. So we're growing the show. We want it to grow, and we want you to jump on and share it and subscribe and stay with us. So, well,
Mikey,
let's get this thing rolling.
let's do it.
Ooh, yeah. All right, Jason.
Mikey.
We're talking about
Who we
the
talking about?
GOAT,
Oh,
the
snap.
GOAT, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, MJ.
On Netflix, they have this really cool new documentary called The Last Dance. I guess when this releases, it won't be as new, but it's pretty new.
Yeah.
Newish.
Yeah.
You can go on, watch it right now on Netflix. It's awesome.
It's really. So here's a quick thing. My wife, who does not like basketball, enjoyed this documentary. So that's how good it is. It's well done. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It
So
does
check it out.
It does a great job with storytelling and explaining like the behind the scenes of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls in 1997. Was it 97?
That I think.
Well, they go
7
through
was
all,
the last year.
Yeah, that's what they're calling the last dance. Was these guys were together one last time for one last year, and they all knew that it was all going to end that year, and they were going to chase their 6th NBA title together. So that's kind of how it goes. But throughout the whole time that you're following them, you're also going back in time. They're taking you back in time to the previous championship years, and even before then, like when Michael Jordan came into the league.
Yeah.
It's really
They
good.
did some college. They talked
Yeah.
about him in UNC and different things, and it's really well done.
It has, so like you could call those, I guess, flashbacks. Like they're taking you flashing you back as they're going through the 1997 season, which is, I mean, it was just really well done, really good. How many episodes was it? Was it 8? I think it was 8 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So-
It's 8 sounds about right. They're about like what hour-ish long
Yeah.
each one.
Yeah.
And then each one they leave a cliffhanger each time. They're
Right.
like, what will happen?
Yeah.
Even though it's already
Yeah,
happened.
I know.
But-
and the nice thing about Netflix is you can just click
Next.
Next.
Yeah.
which that's the only way to watch TV now.
Yeah.
I cannot stand waiting. So like The Last Dance, when it came out, it was coming out on ESPN like once a week or something like that. And I was like, I'm just waiting for it to come on Netflix. I'm going to just binge watch
yeah.
it.
That makes sense.
So that's what I did. So, people though, we're not going to really talk about this, but some people would say LeBron James is the GOAT. He just won his 4th NBA title.
Yep.
So, people are talking.
Yeah.
Conversations happening. Maybe one day they'll do a Last Dance about LeBron James. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what's going
He's
to happen?
still going, so we don't
Still
know.
going. He's 35,
Yeah.
so we'll see how he
I will
finishes off his
say,
career.
I think he's better at 35. Like, he's more consistent.
Yeah, he's getting better.
So,
It seems like. So,
but we don't know. Let's
but we're not going to debate that. All right, we're not going to
maybe
talk
we
about
will.
that. Maybe we will. We'll see
Maybe.
what comes up. But I'm on actually. So here's something interesting. So I was like, big time, like LeBron's the GOAT. Well, the Last Dance actually made me pause for a second and go, you know what? There is a difference between Michael and LeBron.
Yeah.
And it's a mentality that Michael has that maybe LeBron doesn't have so much.
Yeah.
And we will probably touch on that. It's like this. It's almost like this kill mentality. Like at all costs, at the cost of everything, I'm going to win, in a sense. And I think LeBron James has that to a degree, but just I don't know if I've ever seen an athlete, especially watching Last Dance, that has it quite like Michael Jordan did.
Yeah.
And it's super fascinating and interesting. And so let's just start off with that.
Yeah. The
Something that
mentality Michael
something
had.
we noticed about Michael Jordan throughout the documentary was this strive and desire for excellence.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's, I like how you said it's a kill mentality at all costs, all in, all the time, competitiveness. You see in the whole documentary that he's very competitive in
Even
everything that he
even
does.
off the court.
Yes.
Not just in basketball, like
golf,
Yeah,
gambling. a
the
little bit.
gambling and the dice. They would play dice.
Yeah.
And, man, you could tell that he just wants to win
Yes.
in everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
That is like has anything remote, like that has any connection to like a game or anything like that. So yeah, Michael definitely had an edge to him. You see that in the documentary. I think when people watched it in the 90s, they saw it on the court, but the documentary shows it off the court, shows that edge. Like he never turned it off. And it did rub some of his players the wrong way, his teammates.
Yeah.
Actually, all of his teammates were rubbed the wrong way.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that Michael wouldn't have been able to lead the team if it wasn't for Pippen's leadership, his more softer side. And Pippen really was kind of the more soft-spoken one, but still a good leader. He cared about the team, loved the team, wanted to win, but he had more of a pastoral element to the way that he played on the team. He was more of a shepherd, and Michael was more of like, the alpha male dog, like the lead dog.
Yeah.
And while Pippen was trying to keep people together, united, playing for each other, while Michael probably saw his teammates, and you see this in the documentary, he saw his teammates more as like pawns in a game of chess that he was playing. They were designed. He saw his teammates as chess pieces to move in position so that he could win.
Yeah.
In a sense. And I don't know if it's necessarily about the team winning for him, but it was more about him winning for him that you kind of pick up on.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we can challenge about Michael Jordan is the way that he views people in regards to sports. And I think in some ways, he saw them, he did get the best out of people, but was he getting the best out of people so that they could be their best? That wasn't the purpose behind it, which is a great reason to try to get the best out of people. But he was doing it more so that he could win basketball games and championships, which should be actually the byproduct of wanting to see people succeed and be successful and be able to fulfill their destiny as basketball players and gifts and be the best basketball player they can be. That should be the goal more. The person should be the goal more than what happens on the court.
Yeah.
But for Michael, it was, okay, I want you to be the best you can so that you can help me the most on the court, in a sense. I don't know. Did you pick up on that at all? You can disagree with me as well because I'm being kind of critical of the GOAT.
Yeah. He definitely pushed his teammates to the limit. He challenged them. He would yell at them. He would be aggressive. I think
he'd be physical with them, violent.
There were a couple teammates that they honed in on the the tension that they had, because Michael would push them and push them and push them.
Well, that Steve Kerr story.
Yeah.
Like Steve Kerr is probably the shortest guy on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Jordan
might be also the only white guy on the team.
Maybe could have been. And they actually like threw some bows at each other. And like, what does Michael have to prove to Steve? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is he trying to prove to Steve Kerr? You know, he was trying to prove his worth.
Yeah.
His dominance.
Mm-hmm.
And to a degree, you can kind of see Michael still making that case. Even this documentary is kind of designed as, you know, the NBA, when it came out when the NBA shut down. So there was nothing to watch, no sports to watch. Everything was shut down, not just the NBA. So this documentary comes out, and they've been sitting on this footage in these films for years. And Michael says, right now, release it. I think it is interesting that it times up with LeBron's 4th championship. It times up with a lot of things that is happening in LeBron's career, because I think he's still, to a degree, trying to assert somewhat of his dominance, which he was dominant, absolutely dominant. He made it to when he made it to the finals 6 times, he won 6 times.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Michael did.
Yeah.
Sorry, not LeBron. LeBron has lost 6 times, I think, in the finals.
So, Mikey, here's the question. Here's the question that I thought during watching this. You know, being the best at something, is it worth it? At the end of everything, is the time, the excellence, the aggressiveness, even a little bit of being a bully, is it worth it?
Yeah, I think to a degree, like, we are called as Christians to be excellent in our gifts and abilities. And to a degree, Michael Jordan is, like, when you watch him play, he is glorifying the Lord in the way he plays basketball with excellence and skill and with, like, his commitment to the craft and the trade. Like, it does bring glory to God to watch him. Like, and I feel the same way even when I watch LeBron. I'm like, man, this is kind of like, this is worth enjoying. This is worth soaking in. Like, this kind of commitment and excellence. But at what cost, in a sense, of, that's what you're asking. Like, and you see Michael Jordan and how it cost his family, and how it cost his teammates, how it cost his friendships. He gave up everything, everything, including his family. And he even gets emotional when talking about it in the documentary, because I think he does realize now how much it costs to win those titles and to reach that goal 6 times, which is absolutely incredible. And to a degree, it's God glorifying. But his reasonings behind it was not for God to be glorified, but was for himself to be glorified. And he chose to be excellent in basketball, but not excellent as a father and as a husband and as a friend.
I think one time in the documentary do we see his 2 sons, interviewed. One time they spoke of him.
Right.
It might have been maybe 2, but I think I only remember one time.
Right.
And so I was like, there's nothing about the kids during this whole thing.
Right. Or the family.
Yeah. It's like they focus in on the father, because his father was at every game. His father was the one who pushed him.
And so this is something I wanted to say too, is when your gifts and talents are in basketball, but when you choose to be a husband, you chose that. You proposed to her. And then when you choose to have children, you chose that. You brought them into this world.
Yeah.
Your priority is no longer basketball.
No.
Like, your number one priority.
Yeah.
Your number one priority is them.
Yeah.
Your wife and your kids.
Yes.
You must now.
In that order, too.
Right.
Right. Your wife first, and then your kids.
You must make them your priority on this earth. Like, and obviously, like, we do need to say, now I'm thinking about this. Yes, priority number 1 is Jesus, God. We need rescue from our sins. So you focus on your spiritual side, your eternal destiny, and that has incredible implications here on earth.
Yeah.
And then it's your family, and then it's your work.
Yes.
For Michael Jordan, it was work, maybe gambling.
Yeah.
And then family.
Yeah.
And that is not the way it should be. And that's what we do have to challenge about him. We can affirm that he was excellent in what he did, but we can challenge that he wasn't excellent in the calling on his life to be a husband and to be a father. And that's something for us to think about as we, are doing ministry, as we are doing our other hobbies, and maybe you listening as you are doing maybe you're an athlete, maybe you are someone who's pursuing a career in athletics, like maybe you're a coach, maybe if that cannot take precedent.
Or maybe you want to build your kingdom. Maybe your
brand.
Yeah, maybe you're like a business person and you want to be, be the best business person, and it's costing maybe your family right now.
And anything that comes before Jesus is not worth it.
Not at all.
It's all of it's temporary. It's it all is going to vanish.
And that's kind of like what I was getting at. Is like, is it worth it? Like, say you are Michael Jordan, and you get to the end, and like, was it worth it?
Right.
Like, this life is so short.
Right.
Like, think about Tom Brady's speech.
Right.
He's like, is this it? Is this it after winning one of his Super Bowls?
Right.
He's like, is this it?
Is this what it's all about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it didn't fulfill him, at the end of it all.
Right.
There's something more.
Yeah. And I think there's something more to sports than winning. And there's something more to sports than just a trophy. So it's always really weird. We just watched the NBA finals. It's always really weird how they I've always found that just so weird how they touch the trophy.
Yeah.
And they kiss it and they hug it. You see hockey players when they win the Stanley Cup, they take showers with it. They sleep with it in their bed. It's so strange.
Yeah.
It's one of the weirdest. I mean, and some of us laugh. We laugh at it. We think it's funny, but it's a very odd thing. To play for a trophy, to play for a title. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the goal of the game, is to win the game.
Yeah.
But really what sports is designed to do is bring people together, is to bring a team together, bring humans together, connect people together. And yes, you want to beat the other team, but you realize that there's a relationship between you and your teammates and the other team of this doesn't happen if we're not all here.
Yeah.
And that matters, that we're all here together, and we're all here having fun, playing together, and we do want to win. That's what kind of makes it fun, is both sides want to win.
Yeah.
It's no fun playing a game where no one wants to win the game.
Yeah.
It's not competitive.
Yeah.
But when it becomes the end goal is not people, which that's what sports is really about, is people.
Yes.
And the end goal is about a person, one person, or is about a trophy.
Yeah.
Or just about winning.
Yeah.
Because it makes you feel good. That's when it gets distorted.
Yeah. People say the NBA now is not about following a team.
Right.
They say it's about following a player.
Right.
So LeBron goes to the Lakers, we're all LeBron fans.
Right.
He goes to the Heat.
You're like, I'm a LeBron fan. Yeah. I hate the Lakers, but I'm a LeBron fan.
Yeah.
I found myself cheering for the Lakers, who I hate.
Yeah.
I love the Magic, which is sad. The Orlando Magic. But you're nailing it.
Yeah.
Right on with that. So I think, so there are obviously things we can affirm about Michael Jordan and challenge about him.
Absolutely.
And that we can take away and learn from him. And so for you, maybe listening to this, what you need to take away is, listen, excellence is good. To be great at something is good.
Yes.
To apply yourself and commit to something is good.
Yes.
We can say that is good about Michael Jordan. But when other things, when your work or your athleticism or your sport or your job becomes greater than Jesus, becomes greater than being involved in church and community, becomes greater than just human beings in general, that is when you are in the wrong with your striving to be excellent. That's when your excellence becomes your idol.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to confess. And that's what Michael Jordan actually needs to push into and confess.
Yeah.
And turn away from, and then turn to Jesus. And then turn, and then in Jesus you will learn that actually family is more important than anything else. So
and maybe it's a repentant heart towards his sons and his wife. Well,
right.
So
I think at the end of the day, is it worth being excellent? Yes and no. It's worth being great at something because it does bring God glory. But no, when it becomes greater than becomes greater than God in your life.
It's the motivation behind it. If am I being excellent for God?
Right.
Because
that's good.
Or am I being excellent for me and my kingdom?
Right.
And so that's the question to be asking. And I think I struggle with that.
Me too.
I have been trying to be excellent for me, and then I'm like, oh wait, I didn't even think about God in this.
Right.
I made it about me.
Right. Yeah, sometimes when I even do a talk or a sermon, I catch myself before thinking, like, what is everyone going to think about me when I share this?
Yes.
And that's about me, and not the whole purpose of the sermon is to share it in a way that people think about Jesus, not about Mikey. So it's like, or like if I'm doing a podcast episode, same thoughts come through our minds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, there you go. The Last Dance challenging us. And when we put the Gospels on and we look at it and we think about it critically through the Gospel shades, knowing that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, the only way for us, we can see through some of this stuff and we can learn from it. So I hope you've learned something.
Oh, I do want to add, Mikey, one more thing. When we're speaking of God's excellence and we think about Michael Jordan's excellence, we forgot to mention his acting skills. his movie Space Jam is I would hate myself if I didn't say this, but it is excellent.
I'm glad you added this.
Yeah.
This is worth adding into this episode. Space
If you
Jam.
haven't seen it, oh my goodness.
You need to go watch Space Jam.
Oh my goodness. Stop whatever you're doing right
Bugs
now.
Bunny was on fire in Space Jam. Like, incredible. You got to go watch it.
That was like the finals. That was bigger than any of his trophies.
Any of the things he's done, Space Jam is #1. That was the first movie I ever saw in theaters.
Really?
As a kid, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's incredible. So, Space Jam. Watch it. Maybe we'll talk about that next time on the Culture Cast.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you have feedback, let us know. Comment, ask us questions. Email us at srsm@sevenrivers.org. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Love you guys. You matter to us.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Culture Cast, where we engage culture with the gospel. If you have any questions, or maybe you have a favorite song that you would want us to talk about, or a movie or Netflix show that we can maybe bring into this podcast, we would love to. So you can reach out to us at srsm@sevenrivers.org. That's srsm@sevenrivers.org. Send us an email, and we'll engage with that content that you offer us, or any questions or concerns that you have. If you also want to find out more about our ministry, Seven Rivers Student Ministry, you can go to sevenrivers.org/students. We love you guys. You matter to us, and you're lovable through a relationship with Jesus.